Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more on this here. Um, it took me maybe 10 minutes or so to get the rubber seal on, but as you can see, it went on really nice. I got this kind of stuffed in there a little bit so it stays. It kind of catches over here a little bit. This here looks like it's pushing this out a tiny bit. Or maybe it's not. That might have just been an optical illusion. Maybe I'll go and just give that a little trim right there or something, but it's fine either way. Yeah, so you got to really jam the corners in first. So the what was up on this portion had just a tad bit extra, but as you can see, it's nice and straight, and it's on there good. So it's just fine. Now this side here, oh my gosh, this was a bit. I had to fight with this a little bit. And if you can kind of see, let me see if I can get this here and the light. Yeah, so you see that reflection right in there where my thumb is? That's the little, I guess this is like lined with metal that kind of poke through a little bit. But that's because I really had to pull this up really tight up here and get it around the corner. And then I had to pull from here, pull from here, pull from here, because that's the longest. It'll obviously stretch the most, which there's not really much stretching anyways. Yeah, that did push it a little bit. So as you can see here, it overlaps. I'll probably just, with my razor blade, and cut that off a little bit. But yeah, so what I would say, the little maybe 1/4 inch or so extra this had, if that would have been over here, then this wouldn't have been such a major pain. But this was definitely, it was a little bit of pain. I mean, obviously I got it, but I really had to work at it. So that little bit extra that I had, because I did this first, and then I came up over here, and then there was kind of like this kind of like bowed out a little bit. But it's rubber, it's forgivable. How this fits on the edge, these things really grab the edge really nice. They really hold on tight, so that's kudos there. That's some good stuff. But there was a little extra. If that extra would have been over here, then the whole thing would have been totally perfect. But as it is, it's totally fine. Like I'm not saying it's bad by any means. It's all good. In life, I mean, hardly anything is ever perfect. So, but yeah. This could conform a little better here, because you can see there's a gap there or whatever, and it's tight over here. So it's like this area right along here, if this was maybe a little bit longer, I don't know, whatever it is. But it's all close enough. I'm sure that won't even matter at all. Like I said, I'm going to trim. Actually, I'll probably trim this a little bit too, because then I can probably push it in and tuck it and it'll grab right there. Or maybe if I just shove this down. Actually, that kind of works too. Maybe that needs it just to be shoved. That's kind of a stiff corner right there because you have all these angles that come together. Yeah, see, that's a lot closer now over here. So I think that's what that is. It's this area right here that really needs to be shoved into place. Yeah, it's kind of came apart here a little bit, but that's all small stuff. It doesn't really matter. Okay, see, all right. Well, now I don't have to cut that there, and this actually fits here better. Yeah, so that's all that is. If anything, maybe a little trim right there. It looks like now that this is in place. But overall, yeah, I mean they did a good job with making this. I'm happy with the almost $500 I had to spend on this. But I mean, you have to have it, so there's no getting around that. And then you can always go like this around if need be. I'd be a little careful here because this is a bigger area. I'd make sure I pushed on the edges. Don't push down in here. Oh, and one thing too, when I was doing this to get it on different spots, to get it all the way on, I kind of had to rock it back and forth like this. And kind of rocks that and kind of opens it up and gets it all the way in there. So that's a technique. If you rock it back and forth as you're doing it. But yeah, there we go. They did a good job, and I'm happy with it. Now if I can just get the latches, that'll be the hard part.